popular television channel being broadcast only on the internet under the banner of Baby Angel Geronimo Manifesto Editions. But this is a series of broadcasts that is being specially dedicated to the three baby kittens, the black and white one, the gray one, and the Shuri look one that live somewhere not far from the Prince Regent Lane. These kittens, especially the black and white one, appeared about 3 months ago near the front door or at the front door of the address 21D Belgrave Court, London E13 8RP. When the kitten arrived more than once about the same time in the evening, between say about 8 o'clock to about midnight, I got the message that it was obviously expecting to be served dinner. So I'm continuing this from previous broadcasts. So the details are already accessible in the contents of the previous one. So I decided to go shopping. And eventually it persuaded me to buy the brand produced by the company called Purina, and it's gourmet pouches. So it is followed by the gray one, and then there is this Shuri look one, which is younger than the other two. The Shuri look one is the particularly playful one that actually kind of doesn't go for the food immediately, but kind of assesses the situation as if the food itself is a potential kind of resistor before it actually goes and eats the food. As soon as it kind of makes sure that it has made sure that the food is not going to attack it. Now again, the details of the reason for this broadcast are contained in the previous edition. So what happened at the beginning of August, just about a month ago, the criminals who control the what is called the wrongly named Joy Foundation, which is absolutely grim, decided to obstruct me from serving the food. And that is why I am very patiently continuing this broadcast, because I don't want to get involved in a physical event. And while I'm doing this, I'm looking continuously for ways, lawful ways, legal ways to be available so that I can remove the obstructors and begin resuming the feeding of the angels in the evening. This will be updated in due course, of course. Now, today, Wednesday, the 4th of September, 2024. Now, what is September, 4th of September? There is some kind of anniversary in September which will come. This is 4th of September, Wednesday. The 5th of September is Thursday. And the 6th of September is the Friday. I think it was the 6th of September, I think, sometime in the first week of September 2013, that the BBC, London Television, or BBC Television broadcast a short interview with John Biggs. Now, John Biggs was at that time opposition member of the Labour Party. He wasn't in post in 2013. He wasn't in post as the mayor, which he became after the 11th of July. Was it 11th of June 2015? 2 months after the election commissioner declared that Luthuraman was banned and for 5 years, and he was no longer the mayor incumbent for Tower Hamlets. So an election was held. It was the rerun of the election of May 2014, and according to the order given by Richard Mori, the election commissioner, that election of May 2014 was held again on the 11th of June 2015, in which election, obviously, Luthuraman was not allowed to stand, and John Biggs did stand and he got elected. But in September 2013, Biggs was not elected, and so he made a statement about the then regime fronted by Luthuraman, and he said that Luthuraman, as incumbent mayor at the expense of Tower Hamlets, had been allocating money specifically to the western side of the borough of Tower Hamlets, where the people, mainly the population that were going to benefit from the various allocations of grants and financial investments, were Bangladeshis. Now, this is something that Richard Mori actually has repeated in effect in his ruling dated the 23rd of April 2015. But the mainstream media also repeated, and there was been absolutely no rebuttal, even from Luthuraman, effectively. The only source of the rebuttal and the diagnostic rejection of that lie by John Biggs is from me and this campaign, which is that Luthuraman never made any financial decision based on ethnicity. This distinction is absolutely crucial and vital. Lutheraman made the decision entirely based on the fact that whoever was going to get the benefit would recognize that the benefit was coming from him, and they would then kind of reciprocate his kind of benevolence, as he thought strategically, and they would vote for him at the next opportunity, or they would support him. There is a day and night difference, because among the many people who supported Luthuraman in Tower Hamlets, there were white people, and they were not Bangladeshis. And the reason why they supported him was nothing to do with their ethnicity or their ethnic origin. The reason why they supported him or backed him or made apologies for him was because they benefited from the financial decisions he made. For example, the one of the largest, if not the largest, trade unions in the United Kingdom is a trade union called Unite. And Unite's main face during Lutheraman's incumbency was a man called Len McCluskey. Now, Len McCluskey is on the record and accessibly photographed standing next to Lutheraman, and one of his previous supporters, the early supporters, called the businessman called Shiraj. Now, McCluskey's union is one of the biggest multi-million company, needs no money. And yet Luthuraman decided to make a grant allocation of 30, 40, 50,000 pounds to McCluskey's union. Think about that. it is not only grotesque, but it is absolutely grotesque on every single conceivable, logical, factual, evidential level. So for Richard Morey to say that Lutfur Rahman was partial to Bangladeshis, and that was an echo, that was a repetition of the statement that John Biggs made on the BBC television, is absolutely irresponsible, untrue, and can never be proven. So this is September, the connection. So we shall be checking the facts and again broadcasting about John Biggs and Richard Morey, giving him credibility, racist credibility, racistly motivated ignorance on the part of Richard Morey. So back to the report that is due to be published today. Today is the day when Wednesday, the 4th of September 2024, the Grenfell Tower inquiry, the Grenfell Tower massacre inquiry report is going to be published. And according to the I newspaper, which has been kind of running a sort of exclusive reports about the Grenfell Tower, the massacre, they don't say it's massacre, but that is what I have been calling it since June 2017. The massacre, they are saying that the people responsible should be prosecuted, the guilty ones, but they won't be prosecuted, I don't believe. Whatever will happen will be tokenistic. And the thing that the Independent is following is refusing to call it a massacre. And the other thing is that why did the fire was allowed to run for about 2, 3, 4 hours? I'll check the facts again as to how long the fire was on, killing the massacring the 72 people. So whatever the length of time, there was enough time for emergency scrambling of rescue helicopters, military helicopters, to be brought into action, and for water to be poured from all 4 sides, 5 sides in fact I mentioned, because the top as well could be used. So there could be 5 sides of water being poured on the building, and the fire could be extinguished, substantially saving a lot of lives. Why was that not done? That question is the biggest question that the inquiry has not asked. That's the biggest question that the media has not been even posing. So we shall be talking more about this after the report. It is a typical British inquiry report. There will be smashing headlines, there will be damning condemnation, a damning report, damning finding, and all the other things. But it will not be followed by any serious, rigorous prosecution, just as happened in the case of the Scarman inquiry after the Brixton riot, so called, as happened with the Hillsborough. Nothing has happened. Nobody has been actually really prosecuted. And with the Macpherson inquiry, nobody really has been prosecuted. In fact, the term institutional racism was invented by Macpherson, the inquiry chairman, on the murder of Stephen Lawrence. It was individual racism, and that has been replaced by Macpherson. So the Grenfell Tower inquiry will be similarly a whitewash inquiry. Now, ending this at 14 minutes 26 seconds at 06:51 hours GMT on Wednesday, the 4th of September 2024.